you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we are going to discuss the things that have been happening in the music industry lately. There's been a lot of talk about music, and of course, I have a lot of opinions on it, so we are going to come and discuss. But first, I want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Factor. Factor is committed to bringing you fresh, never frozen food straight to your door. It is dietitian approved. They taste good. It's easy to make, and you will have a meal ready to go in minutes. Factor's team of gourmet chefs create each meal using only ingredients with integrity to help you feel best after a long day, to feel good about what you are putting into your body, and to make sure that you are full. You can skip the overpriced trap. Factor is cheaper. You get chef-crafted restaurant quality meals delivered right to your door. They're ready. You heat them up in just 2 minutes. They are there for you. You don't have to worry about going to the grocery store. You don't have to worry about pinching pennies. Factor meals eliminate all the prep, all the cleaning, all the planning that goes into making a meal. I constantly see people around my age talking about it takes too much to eat at night or it takes too much to have lunch. You do not have to worry about that with Factor because it is all prepared for you. My favorite thing about Factor is during the day. It is so hard for me to figure out what I want to do for lunch because I'm already thinking about dinner and all the stuff I got to get ready for dinner, and lunch is something that gets skipped over by me, or I just end up getting in the car and going to some fast food joint. I do not have to worry about what I'm going to eat for lunch every single day because Factor makes that easy for me. Factor now offers loads of snack options like breakfast smoothies, juices, small bites, and more to keep you going no matter what is on your schedule. So if you would like to try Factor, head over to factor75.com and use code 50 as told by Kenya. Click the link in the description, or you can just put it in for yourself and you can get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50 as told by Kenya, all caps, at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Factor, thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, and let's get on into it. Okay, so I want to come and discuss all things music. The first thing I want to come and discuss is this weird Billboard list that came out. Billboard published a list from its staffers, the best R&B voices of like all time. And I find it so interesting what list you guys choose to care about and what list you guys decide you're not going to care about. I feel like when it comes to music publications, there is some type of list posted like every single week. Every single week there is some type of list, but you guys don't care about all of the lists that come out. I just think it's funny what list you guys decide to get all riled up about. But this R&B list got people upset, baby. Now, I do think this is coming off of other discourse that has been happening. We had people have some weird discourse about Beyonce and Brandy like right before this list came out. So people are already in this space where they were talking about voices and music and all of this stuff. So this list came out at the perfect time to cause the perfect type of discourse that Billboard is looking for. Because I have told you guys this before. You are the content when it comes to this list. The list is arbitrary. That is just something to get you all to talk. They just want their list to be part of some type of conversation. They don't care if the conversation is good. They don't care if the conversation is bad. They just want you to talk. So when you get all riled up, that's entirely the point. The entire point is to get you upset, for you not to agree, to you to go back and forth, for you to call each other names. And it's just like, we don't have to do any of this. But the list does come out, and I will say the list is an absolute joke. There are certain things on this list that genuinely do not make sense to me. So overall, the list was talking about impact, success, overall vocal ability, and those are really like the three things that kind of went in to how they did this list. Like if you were successful and how successful you were, whether your voice is good or bad, and you know, what effect did you have on the music industry overall. And I just saw a bunch of nonsense. There's a few things I want to come and say. Number one, if Kenya was making this list, what would she do? If I was making this list, I would personally put Michael Jackson at number one. Now, Now, people are probably going to be shocked at me saying I would put Michael Jackson at number one because I constantly talk about how I think Beyonce and Janet Jackson are better than Michael Jackson. I constantly say that, but I don't say that because I have any like disrespect towards Michael Jackson. And it's just simply my opinion that I think Beyonce and Janet Jackson are better than Michael Jackson. But when it comes to R&B music and the success people have had in R&B music and the impact someone has had in R&B music, I personally think Michael Jackson is just at the top, personally with room. I think you can listen to R&B music before Off the Wall and Thriller, and then you can listen to it after, and it's just night and day. I think what Michael Jackson was able to do with those two albums changed the landscape of R&B music. It changed the landscape of what it means to be a black artist. And so I just think Michael Jackson, you got to give him that. Also, Michael Jackson brought to R&B music different vocal layering styles. A lot of people get credit for doing that, but actually a lot of the stuff that would come to like, you know, be really popular in the 90s, early 2000s, that can go straight back to Michael Jackson. So I would personally put Michael Jackson as number one on the list. I think the list that there is, Michael Jackson is in like the top 4. I think so. The list I think is Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, and Beyonce. Now, y'all know I'm a Beyonce fan. I don't need Beyonce to get any R&B stuff. I really don't care where Beyonce was at this list. That's the best thing about a list. When you don't give a good goddamn where your fave fall because it don't goddamn matter. I don't care where Beyonce is on an R&B list because Beyonce hasn't made like a straight through R&B album in a really, really long time. I don't think Beyonce has tried to be the best voice in R&B. Now, don't play with her. Like, no one can sing. No one has been able to sing better than Beyonce on this earth for a very, very long time. But I really didn't care where Beyonce fell on this list, but she is sitting at number 4, and you can watch those B words if you got an issue with it. And so Stevie Wonder is first on the list. Of course, I have no issue with Stevie Wonder being on the list. When it comes to R&B music, I think Stevie Wonder is the best songwriter in R&B. Stevie Wonder has 3 magnificent albums, in my opinion. And then there's obviously on other albums, there's amazing songs. Stevie Wonder is a pioneer in all things R&B. So I understand Stevie Wonder being number 1 in that case. And Stevie Wonder is still alive, and Stevie Wonder still sounds good. Stevie Wonder is still doing the thing, and so I think Stevie Wonder deserves so much more. We should be doing, every single award show should be doing a Stevie Wonder tribute every single time they can do any tribute. Like the fact that Stevie Wonder is still here, we should be giving Stevie Wonder even more. So I have absolutely no problem with that. Then Aretha Franklin being at number 2. Oh, I'm never going to have an issue with Aretha Franklin getting her things because I have nothing but love and respect for Aretha Franklin. We are talking about the greatest vocalist to ever live. She is up there. Not even up there. So my top 3 favorite vocalists of all time, if anybody cares, is Aretha Franklin, Beyonce, and Whitney Houston. Those are my 3 favorite vocalists of all time. I have Aretha Franklin is amazing. Aretha Franklin is great. Like I said, a pioneer when it comes to all this. But that's all the stuff I agree with. There's some shit on this list I simply don't agree with. R. Kelly and Usher are rounding out like the top 12. R. Kelly and Usher are rounding out the top 12. Let's go with the least problematic, Usher. I love Usher. I think Usher is great. I do not think when it comes to the R&B list, Usher should be so high. I think Usher is higher than people he should not be higher than. I'm sorry, I don't necessarily agree that Usher should be higher than Luther Vandross. I don't agree with that. But the biggest thing that I don't agree with, I think the biggest atrocity of this list is Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is sitting there at number 16, and I think that is a travesty. I think Mary J. Blige should at least round out the top 10, but if not the top 5. I am so sorry. What Mary J. Blige did to R&B music when she stepped through with a beat and a bounce in the 90s with What's the 411, I'm sorry. I wasn't even there because I wasn't even born yet, but you cannot, as someone who loves pop music, as someone who loves pop culture and loves R&B music, even though I think 2000s R&B is better than 90s R&B, that's my opinion, you gotta give Mary J. Blige her things, and then to come out with Real Love after, like, Mary J. Blige was just hitting and hitting and hitting. Mary J. Blige has so many hit songs. Mary J. Blige has 9 Grammys. She was just nominated for Album of the Year like 2 years ago. Do not play with her. And then Mary J. Blige outlived a lot of people who on this list who were ahead of her. And I don't mean outliving like being alive. I mean being relevant for a long time. Mary was selling copies. Mary can still sell copies to this day. I'm not going to give it to you, especially when you think about the fact that from like after Usher put out Here I Stand, like what's after that? What album after Here I Stand are y'all giving a good goddamn about? That's Usher like 4th album. Usher 4th album. Really, Usher what? He got that My Way album. He got that other album with the numbers. I don't forgot what it's called. He got Confessions and he got Here I Stand, right? So that's his 4th album, and like y'all didn't like that one. So like what's after that? What's after? I'm getting nasty here. No shade, Usher, but like what is after that? But Mary was just Mary ran the 90s. Mary ran the 90s and then would have a run in the 2000s. Like, I'm simply not going to give it to her. And she is going up against giants. She is going up against Mariah Carey. She is going up against Whitney Houston. She is going up against Michael Jackson is still putting out. She is going up against the biggest artists in the world. She is going up against all of that stuff, and she is reigning supreme. She is holding her own against the best. I think Mary J. Blige does not get what she deserves. Mary J. Blige came out with such a unique voice, and so I'm stating my claim for Mary J. Blige. I think Mary J. Blige should be way higher. And then Usher, you're whatever. I don't have an issue with Usher. It's the R. Kelly of it all. I'm sorry, it is the R. Kelly of it all. Even if I choose to strip away all the fucking nonsense, I still do not think that R. Kelly is that important to R&B music. I think that is absolutely insane. I think that is a want to be edgy, and I think it just goes against over Luther. Like, I just think all of this is goddamn nonsense. That list pissed me off. So I can put myself in that number, to which I don't get it. I don't get what the list was trying to do. I don't get what the list was trying to say. And then Alicia Keys as well. Alicia Keys being behind both of them. I'm not going to do it. I'm simply not going to do it, because you have to discuss the run Alicia Keys had when she first came out to R&B music. Like, what are we doing here? I just did not like the list. I didn't like nothing about the list. But the biggest thing about the list that pissed me off, you stands, let me tell y'all something. Why do y'all see a list and the first thing y'all do is go find Beyonce name and then see where your fave is in relation to Beyonce? That is weird. I am so sorry. This thing that some fans have to where they just want to be above Beyonce. It doesn't matter about anything else going on that list. They just want to be higher than Beyonce. Is weird. Y'all hatred towards that woman is weird. It's an obsession. It is an obsession. I don't understand how every single time a list comes out, Beyonce does something, y'all decide she is the worst person in the world. And like, fine, whatever, but then something else happens again, and then you say that same exact thing. Why not just leave it there? Why can't she just be all those horrible things y'all think she is, and you go about your goddamn life? Like, why is it a constant thing that you have to keep reminding? Because even you don't believe it. Even you don't believe the stuff that is coming out of your mouth. But anyway, shout out to everybody on the list who I respect. I'm talking Marvin Gaye. I am talking Alicia. I am talking Aaliyah. I am talking Brandy. I am talking Stevie. I am talking Luther. I am talking Michael. I am talking whoever else. Tina Turner, Janet Jackson. That's another. We don't even have to get into, like, it's one thing to just be talking about, ooh, this person sings. But like, if I think a more interesting conversation is actually your, like, impact on R&B music. If that's the case, Brandy needs to be way higher. Janet needs to be way higher. Like, give the girls their things. Oh my gosh. So yeah, shout out to that. Speaking of Brandy, are y'all going to see Brandy and Monica on their tour? I personally don't think I will be stepping. I don't understand what this deep desire is to constantly put Brandy and Monica like together. I get the beef. I get the boy is mine. I get all of that. I just don't necessarily believe that, like, all together Brandy and Monica necessarily makes sense as like this duo that keeps trying to get shoved down our throat for the past decade since they made up. So I don't know if I'll be there. Shout out to Kelly. Kelly is opening for them, and there was a lot of riffraff about whether or not Kelly should open for it. I don't think it matters. I simply do not think it matters. Like, I wish the girls nothing but the best. Go get your tickets. Go support the girls. Yeah, and have a good time down at the Brandy and Monica. You want to know what? I might step. If my spirit agrees when it's around the time they're gonna be in my city, I might step. I have nothing wrong with the rowdy chick. I have nothing against y'all vocal Bible, and I have nothing against Kelly. You know what? I might step. Let's move on to the next thing. The next thing is Sabrina Carpenter. I am so tired. It tires me how much you guys are willing to talk about stuff that is so not interesting. Like, I am tired by how much energy and time you guys put into stuff that is just so silly. And I think the Sabrina Carpenter discourse is just so silly. So Sabrina Carpenter put out the album cover for her album Man's Best Friend. This is a follow-up of Short and Sweet. She released the first single off this album called Man Child. It ain't for me, but if it's for you, God bless. And so there was discourse because Sabrina Carpenter is on her knees. There's a man pulling at her hair, and you get it's kind of like a dog, man's best friend. You get it all there. And like quickly the discourse became that Sabrina Carpenter is setting women back. Sabrina Carpenter is all about sex. This isn't feminist. This isn't all of this stuff. And it's just like, y'all not tired of talking about the same shit? Y'all lips not chapped talking about the same fucking shit every single time somebody does anything. First things first, I am a woman who don't like to get told what to do. And something about this album cover gives like you want me to have certain discourse. That's the thing. Like Sabrina, I can only give you so much in the sense they need to get off your back, because every type of discourse you guys are having, Sabrina Carpenter fully expected you to have this discourse. You're not doing anything that her and her team did not want you to do. Like this is obvious. Like, y'all need to talk about me, and that is what y'all are doing. And so like it's right there. And I don't like when the powers that be tell me what to do. So I will not fall into the discourse trap that y'all want me to do with this. And then two, like I don't think there's anything necessarily interesting about the discourse that y'all are having. First things first. Is this feminist? Is this not feminist? Pop stars don't need to be feminists. Pop stars don't need to be feminists. I think this is something that you guys actually do not care about. I think this is just you guys throwing around words and just being like, is it fit? Like it's not, but like nobody else is either. Nobody else is either. Everybody in pop culture is playing with this idea of like agency and possession. You clearly belong to the masses. That is just a part of being a public figure. You belong to the masses, but also trying to have agency in what you choose to give the world, right? Even though there's a lot of things you don't have control over, being in control over the things you don't have control over, right? It's just this weird game that everybody is playing in pop culture. And I think when people try to single out Sydney Sweeney, or try to single out Sabrina, or try to single out Taylor, Beyonce, Rihanna, when they try to single out these people and try to be like, is this person feminist? Is this person not feminist? It goes against the idea of feminism. And it also goes against like what pop culture is in this conversation about agency and about ownership and about giving yourself to people and all of this stuff. And so I just find that conversation to be uninteresting. If you really want to have a conversation about feminism, popism, pop culture, you could do it with something totally different. This is just a way for you to either try to give Sabrina something she doesn't deserve, or try to take away from Sabrina which she also doesn't deserve. So start there. I find all of that to be stupid. Number two thing, the people on Sabrina's side saying this is subversive. I do not think people know what subversive means. I do not think people understand what subversive means in a sense of like media. This is not subversive in any way. So I find that conversation to be stupid. Number three, this idea that Sabrina Carpenter's the worst fucking person in the world and Sabrina Carpenter hates the kids. I find all of that to be stupid because we are talking about pop music. We are talking about pop music, and sex and pop music, They go together. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. This has already happened. Everything is our reuse. We have already done this. We have already done this with almost every single pop star who has ever pop star. We can talk about Michael Jackson thrusting his hips. We can talk about Elvis thrusting his hips. We can talk about Madonna. We can talk about Janet Jackson. We can talk about Destiny's Child. We can talk about Britney. We can talk about Christina Aguilera. We can talk about so many people, Bobby Brown. We can talk about so many people and sex and what that has to do with pop culture. Almost all of these artists have a song about being sexualized, how they feel. Paula Abdul. We can talk about almost any pop star who has made it to the top of the pop mountain, and like them talking about sex, them talking about their sexuality, them talking about ownership of their sexuality. Miley Cyrus is another person who you can throw right on into this. We can talk about this with almost any pop star. Sabrina Carpenter isn't doing anything that hasn't already done. Maybe it's just a little bit more obvious, but is it? You could go back to Madonna, you could go back to Paula Abdul, you could go back to Janet. Theirs was obviously more obvious, but the bigger thing is, the reason why I wanted to talk about all of those artists who have done this before, the reason why I don't get too tied up in discourse when it comes to pop music when it's not interesting is because good music is actually the thing that always stands the test of time. Discourse does not. It's funny how people are comparing like Sabrina Carpenter doing this to like Madonna at the VMAs. Well, the thing that you're missing is that Madonna was performing like a virgin. The reason why that performance actually sticks, is that Madonna is performing one of the greatest pop songs of all time. And you can just go down the list with everybody who I mentioned. It's almost like every time someone brings up Miley Cyrus, someone talks about bangers and all the issue with bangers and the discourse surrounding bangers by Miley Cyrus. And the number one thing you will always hear is people saying, well, bangers was good. Bangers was good. I like the music on bangers, because when it comes to pop and discourse, the music is the thing that always stays. The music is the thing that discourse comes and discourse goes. Moral conjecture changes. People's public opinions change. What's in, what's out. The music is the thing that holds true. The music is the thing that holds true. You can have all the discourse in the world. People will care for as long as they care. And the only thing left after 4 years, 5 years is the music. Like a Virgin just stayed around because it was good. Controlled by Janet Jackson stayed around because it was good. Cold Hearted stayed around because it was good. Dirty by Christina Aguilera stayed around because it was good. I'm a Slave for You stayed around because it was good. These songs stayed around because they were good songs. The reason why Beyonce constantly, she's always in the discourse machine, but people still invest in the discourse, is because Beyonce has good music that goes along with the discourse. You trust her vision. You trust her vision. She's not just handing you slop. So I say that to say this. Sabrina can do all this, but the album has to be good. The album has to be good. At the end of the day, music is all we're doing this for. Music is all that we're doing it for. And so if the music is good, that's all that matters, right? Right. I don't think Man Child is that, but who knows what else is on that album. So we will just live and let live. Speaking of music, Cardi B has announced that she is finally going to put out her sophomore album, and I am so happy for Cardi B. Of course, I am not the biggest Cardi B fan in the world, but I've never understood Cardi B not putting out this album, because I always felt like Cardi B was scared, right? Cardi B was scared of how the album would be received, but I never understood why it always seemed like Cardi B believed that Cardi B would flop. I do not believe Cardi B would have ever flopped putting out this album. I don't know what Cardi B expects to do, but there is no world in which I ever expected a Cardi B album, sophomore album, to flop on the charts. I think a lot of people care about Cardi B. I think more people care about Cardi B than Cardi B knows. Even the people who talk shit about Cardi B, they're going to be tuned in to Cardi B. And so I never understood why Cardi B felt like she had to wait for the right time. Of course, when WAP was out, that was the perfect time to put out a sophomore album, or Up was out, that was the perfect time. And then Cardi B does have a lot of singles that just ain't that great that came out in between those times, but I still still think she could have put out an album at any time between that. And I think the album would do perfectly fine. So Cardi B has announced that she is going to put out an album. The streets are saying that it's going to be 23 tracks. That's bold. That's bold and brave. It is very bold and brave to give people a 23 track rap album. There's been some discourse surrounding the fact that she's going to put Up and WAP on the album. I don't really think it matters. Like, overall to the sales, it's kind of like SZA putting Saturn on her second album, SOS, and like all of a sudden the sales of the album are like through the roof because that song has been out forever. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, if she want to put them songs on the damn do it, who cares? I just am curious what the hell Cardi B got to say. If we take the fact that she's gonna put WAP, Up, and then we've already heard Outside, we take those three off, she's probably gonna put enough song on there. Like, that's not, she still got to put 17 tracks of new music on that goddamn album. And I'm like, what she got to say for 17 tracks? She put out Outside. Outside is doing well on the track. It's a little, I'm gonna give Outside some grace because it's a filler. It's you know, testing the waters. It's testing the waters. Cardi B is coming, but the album don't come out till September, so there's really nothing to really talk about surrounding the album when you really think about it. So let's move on to the next thing. Speaking of albums, Miley Cyrus put out Something Beautiful last month. And I really enjoy Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus. This is what I've been wanting for Miley Cyrus. So she put out Endless Summer Vacation. I think Endless Summer Vacation is Miley's most like, everyone should like a song, at least one song on Endless Summer Vacation. It's easy. It's the most digestible Miley album we've gotten in a really long time. I like Endless Summer Vacation a lot, but I like her making a sharp turn and doing something a little bit experimental. Of course, she's not Bjork, so it's not like it's crazy experimental, but it's different. Miley Cyrus, I think, is the best version of herself on this album. It's kind of like on She Is Coming. I said this when She Is Coming came out, that Miley Cyrus was the best version of herself on She Is Coming. I feel that exact same way with this right now. This to me is adult 30 plus Miley, and I really, really liked it. My top 3 songs is More to Lose. I don't know why people don't like More to Lose. I don't know if people dislike More to Lose. More to Lose is my favorite song on this album. Pretend You're God is also really, really good. I also like Easy Lover, and those will probably be my 3. Walk of Fame also is really, really good. How do girls feel about Walk of Fame? I haven't really tapped in to what the discourse is around Something Beautiful, but those would be my songs. What I love the most about this album is that you never know where the track is going to take you. So Something Beautiful starts off as almost this like R&B thing, and then it quickly goes into like this rock thing, and I just think it's really, really good. Whoever did Miley's vocals on this, they're coming across crisp, they're really, really good. You get to see where Miley's voice is right now. I think everything about this album is really, really well done, and I knew the album wasn't going to get received well because this type of Mileyism, a lot of people don't know what to do with it. It's like I said with She Is Coming, and then even parts of Plastic Hearts. People don't really know what to do with the Miley that goes a little pop rock, that goes a little bit different, that plays in these R&B sounds even sometimes. They don't know what to do because Miley has a very interesting voice, and so I never expected people to get it. I think people knew, like, Endless Summer Vacation was received well. She got the Grammys for that because, like, that is, I think, the version of Miley people most want to discuss. People most want to discuss that version of Miley. I have no issue with that version of Miley, but like now it's been done, right? It's been done, and so it's time to move on. So I really like Something Beautiful. I think everyone should go give it a listen. I think if you're a normie and you're like regular, you're not going to love it, but I think it's really, really good. I would have to make a video ranking my Miley albums. I think I would put it's somewhere near Plastic Hearts. It's somewhere near Plastic Hearts. I would have to really, really go back to Plastic Hearts to see if I think it should jump Plastic Hearts. And another thing I like about this album, you find something else to like about it every time you listen to it. So all I'm saying is don't listen to the streets. Don't look, this is for the arts, not the charts. This is for the arts, not the charts, okay? It's actually a really bold and brave album, and I think it's really, really good. I hope Miley and her team don't give up on on it because I just think it's different. It's really, really, sometimes I listen to it and I'm just like, this is what I always thought Miley could be. This is when I say Miley is interesting and a really interesting artist compared to her peers, this is what I'm talking about. This is the type of work that I'm talking about. Another thing I like about the album, I'm going on a tangent, there's this constant theme on every single song about like Miley not being enough. Like if she changes herself enough, maybe you will like her if she plays the game enough. And I feel like every single song can connect back to how Miley is perceived in like fame. Even if you take into account how people perceive Endless Summer Vacation, right? How that's when she got the Grammys, that's when she got the smash single and all of this stuff. So it's like, if I tame myself and make myself quote unquote smaller, like, is that how you'll like me? Right? And so whenever she's talking about that, and then the songs just switch up to being like crazy and over the top, there's a conversation that, let me not get too deep. There's a conversation being had there. Also, speaking of Miley Cyrus, when y'all gonna accept like I'm God's favorite and y'all just playing for seconds? Did y'all see Miley Cyrus and Beyonce on stage down at the Cowboy Corner tour? I hope every time you guys see Miley Cyrus and Beyonce, y'all think of me. I hope every time y'all see Miley Cyrus and Beyonce, y'all think of me, because who was here on the front lines? Who would have ever thought Miley and Beyonce, my two girls, who would have ever thought they would have a song together, a top 10 song together, okay? And then it would win a Grammy, and now they performing it on stage. Who would have ever fucking thought? Who would have ever fucking thought? And we're here. We are here. I was so gooped. I was so gagged. They looked so lovely on stage. It was really good to see Miley back on the stage, and just amazing and great. Oh, another thing. Have y'all seen those Cowboy Carter box scores? Have y'all seen those Cowboy Carter box scores? It's so funny. Every single tour, every single Beyonce tour, this has been happening for so long. People like to run with this narrative that don't nobody want to see Beyonce. Then the box scores come out and you realize, no, it's just your faves nobody wants to see. The box scores always come out. The box scores always come out and y'all always are left silent. That's why I don't play this game. For Act 3, whatever Act 3 is, she's going to announce a tour and y'all going to say the same thing again, and then the same goddamn thing going to happen again. Y'all not tired? Y'all not tired of Beyonce just winning in the end? Are y'all not tired of the same thing? Anyways, that is the end of this one. I will talk to you guys in the next one.